Hi guys, this is Zachary Jalal. If you came here for the review of the Clarett Plus, this is not that kind of video. I'm not a technical person, so I'm not gonna give you like those like really intense details about comparison of like different interfaces. It's not that kind of video. This is more like an unboxing video. If you want to check out and skip ahead and go to the unboxing, I have the timeline all around on here. So you can check out these right here that I provided. Also, you can go in the chapter as well. Also, one thing is that I'm not sponsored by Focusrite. My personal opinions, nothing is paid for. All right, so let's talk about why I had to upgrade from the Sapphire 40 to the Clarett Plus. It all started from my laptop. I have a 2016 MacBook Pro. It's a 15-inch from 2016, fully upgraded, a whopping $4,700, my own money. You might wonder like why I had to do that. Well, because I just didn't want to worry about like having my plugins boggled down for music production and thinking that like once I spend that, then I don't have to worry for a very long time. Oh boy, I was wrong. This laptop, it got me through the whole pandemic. You know, I got a lot of stuff done with client-wide. I did photography, did a lot of editing on it, music. I even did my whole like 2018 album. You can check it out here if you want to see that. Also, I did a whole full-on commercial ads with it. So this thing is a beast. I'm not trying to talk down on it at all. This is great. But the problems that I started having with it was when I did these three issues here. The first one, while I was recording, I was in the mode of like just singing on this new song or new track. And then out of nowhere, I would just get this overload. I would just get consistently overload. I tried to freeze the tracks, and then I tried to press that little button that stops all the plugins to work in the background, and it still didn't work as well. I didn't even go through a lot of tracks and it would have that overload already. So that was kind of bogging me down in my productivity and driving me insane on top of that. That was like my first reasoning. Okay, problem number two is when I started editing for long format videos, it was having issues of rendering, going through just like small editing stuff, moving one small thing to another, like a little, beach ball would show up for just maybe like 2 seconds, and that's still over time, that's a lot of editing I need to do. And that was just miserable to work with. Every time I see the beach ball, it started to become more and more enraged inside me. And I started to think like, oh my God, these beach balls are more becoming like an enraged ball of death in my eyes. Anyways, the third and final problem with that laptop was when I started to do more screen recording. So there's like, this channel, I'm trying to make more music stuff. So there's like 2 more shows that I kind of want to create, and they involve like screen recording. So the problem with the screen recording is that obviously, it could barely do music production. Why did I think that like it could do music production and screen recording at the same time?
I don't know.
Anyway, so I needed a new computer. I looked at a couple options. I bogged it down, looked into all around, went through this whole like wormhole of YouTube. Finally came down to the result of getting the Mac Mini Pro. So I went into my Apple Store app, ordered my Mac Mini, and off I went. Fresh. So after plugging in the Mac Mini Pro, like anybody downloading all these softwares and everything, so stoked to just like turn it on and record music. Came into an issue where Sapphire Pro 40 is not supported on the new OS system, Ventura. So I was so disappointed. I went through so many different cords to just maintain the Sapphire Pro 40. These cords I'm talking about right here, the FireWire to like another extension to finally USB-C, and then Focusrite decided to not support it anymore, which is a bummer. But I looked into it, and it's a product since 2004, so it's probably time for me to move on to new technology, and that was pretty much my main reasoning for buying the Focusrite. Yeah. Now the Clarett Plus is awesome. I chose that one specifically because I knew that it was going to be a good product. I have a lot of friends who already use it. I trust into it because the Sapphire Pro has lived so long. It's been in my rack forever. This hardware is so reliable. Bought it in 2011 and it's still running like a decade later. You know, that's like the test of time of the Focusrite product. And you know, it still works to this day. Everything from the build quality to just turning on my laptop, it just works, you know, like one of those things that just stand the test of time. And it's built like a tank. It's been shipped from San Francisco to New York City, still works really well. Moving from apartment to apartment to finally here in my new apartment. I can't rave enough about this product. It just works really great. Now, you might say like, Zach, why did you buy the Focusrite Clarett Plus with only the 2 outputs? Why didn't you just buy the 8 output one so it could fit in your rack? Well, here's the thing. I don't have the money, 1. 2 is that like, actually there is no 2. It's pretty much the money. I also could have waited to get the Focusrite 8 input, but you know, I'm not gonna stop making music production just because of I couldn't afford the 8 one, you know, like the 2 is fine. And there's a lot of pros to it as well. Really small so I can bring it anywhere I want to. Like I can jam anywhere and just bring my laptop and it'll be all set. I didn't even bat an eye about purchasing this. So that was my first thing that came to thought that, okay, cool, I'm gonna get the Focusrite Plus. I saw online that B&H is still open and I can go grab it right now. So like anybody, I took my bike and out I was again. I got it, guys. Let's open this up. Here comes. Here we go. Adapters, I guess. Maybe yours is different. I don't know. I like to show everything when I purchase something because I feel like maybe you didn't get like the best packaging or something and maybe it looks wrong off of what you got and maybe that could be a reason why it's not working or something. But I'm just showing you. I mean, it's a little tedious on my part. Probably not a lot of views, but just for the people who care. It has like a little rubber part down here, which is awesome, so it won't move around. And also like maybe you have water maybe just like running down, like musicians always do that, you know, you're drinking or something and it just falls. Obviously you're not supposed to be drinking and anything near your hardware, but like we're just humans, we do that sometimes. So I like how they have that underneath that. It's a little elevated to keep it from damaging your precious hardware here. Pretty solid here. So in front of the interface here, we have our usual suspects. We have the 2 microphone preamps for XLR and TRS line level devices and instruments, each with an individual gain knob. Below that, we have the instrument and air mode LED lights that are only accessible through the app, which we'll talk about that later. We have the phantom power button right beside that. Next is the beautiful monitor knob. Besides that, we have a couple of LED lights which indicate the power, USB connection, and device clock. Next to that is the headphone level control and the headphones output, which I read has been upgraded to have a better output quality from the predecessor. Now in the back we have the on and off switch and the power adapter, which you really don't need if your laptop supports USB-C, as most computers do. If you're using an old model computer, you might need the adapter to power your interface. Using ADAT optical connectivity, you can connect up to 8 more mics in case you need to. It's always good for that option. Next, we have the 5-pin MIDI in and out, supporting up to 16 inputs and outputs. And lastly, we have our 4-line outputs, which is awesome. It means that you can plug one set for your monitors and another set to a vocal mix, like in a booth, if you have that luxury.
but in my case, I'll just use it for my other set of monitors. On to the software. You can see those two tabs up here, the device setting and the output routing. But on the very left, under the device settings, the top left here, you can choose your sample rate and also select your clock source. Now down on the monitor control setting is where that big knob that you saw in front of the interface can control the outputs 1 and 2, all 4 of them, or none at all. Next up is the analog 1 and analog 2. Remember those two LEDs on each pre. This is where you can turn them on and off for the air mode and switch between line input or instrument input, and the lights will light up if engaged respectively. Let's talk about the air feature. From what I know, it uses the tonality or creates the tonality of the famous ISA transformer from the legendary Focusrite preamp. So basically you can color your signal coming in, which is pretty cool for this price range. Now the output routing area is kind of like your basic stuff, making your own mix. It's pretty self-explanatory. So we're gonna move on to the mobile app. So once you're in the mobile app, it's pretty similar to the desktop app. The only differences in here is that there's a mute and dim button. And I think that this would be really useful if you're far away from your workstation and you need to press the air button and you forgot to, or you need to fix your headphone mix. You can fix it easily here without getting out of the booth. So yeah, I think it's very useful. Gonna weigh it out here as well. And it comes up to 1,303 grams, which is equivalent to 2.4 pounds.
When I'm alone, I'm bound to find myself. I've been looking outside through that bright window. I'm not the same man I used to be. When I'm alone, you be banging up my door, gonna drag me down with my feet in the air on this gasoline drenched floor. I'ma find another lover, I'ma find another way to escape this house that you set on fire and you threw me in the flames. Yeah.
I can see this being very useful for musicians. Can just throw it into your backpack, put some keyboards in, a mic, headphones. It's pretty lightweight. I think another thing that I wish they had was another headphone jack. That'd be really cool. So if you've been following on with the video, I've actually made the conclusion that I'm not gonna throw away my precious laptop here. I think I'm just going to finish all the sessions that I've been doing with it, format it to the latest OS, and see how it goes from there. Mainly, I'm gonna use this as music production on the go and some maybe lightweight photo editing. But besides that, most of the heavy lifting is gonna be using my Mac Mini Pro that I purchased. And yeah, I'll give a review on that at some point and tell you how the Focusrite is doing also in the future. So there you have it, guys. Thanks so much for watching why I changed my audio interface. If you're interested in seeing the 2 new shows that are coming up, please subscribe and you'll see those coming out very soon. If you found this video entertaining, please hit the like button. I'm Zachary Jalal and I'll see you guys in the near future. Later.